Hello. I think. Okay, hello. We had some. I apologize. Hopefully, this will not keep happening. Hang on 1 second. Coming up. Coming up. Hello. There we go. And turn around. Okay. Check things out. Alright. Okay. I think things are actually working now. Oh, this is gonna be a hot mess. Sorry about that, guys. I've been having all kinds of problems today. I see there's quite a few people in the chat already. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to yet another wholesome establishment. Hi Kat, hi Amanda, hi Karina, hi Tamisha. There's more of you here already than there normally is when a stream starts. So thank you for that. Someone said I guess the Korean barbecue was too hot for the stream. Apparently that is what happened. Welcome to my Korean barbecue shop. We are an equal opportunity employer, so you see that we only buy. I shouldn't say buy. That actually sounds terrible. We only provide the best Korean barbecue grills here. You know, the funny thing is when I was like looking up, because I just wanted to see if it was a thing, I looked up ab grill. And there actually was a product that came up, and I'm 99% sure that this is not a real product, but it still made me laugh so hard because I totally know that there is someone out there that would buy this. Like, there is somebody that would totally buy an ab enhancer grill and walk around like they put in work. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday? Again, I do apologize that I was a little late here. Someone could Amanda said someone could buy it as and use it as a guide to contour their abs. Someone totally would. I know that they would. That reminds me of, there was a commercial, I think it was for like an insurance company or something like that, where they were like talking about all the things that they do for their customers and all the things that they would do for you, and this guy's like on vacation, and someone comes in and he's like kind of chubby, and they start airbrushing fake abs onto him. Karina said, I mean, if the boyfriend pillow and the girlfriend lap pillow can exist, then anything is possible. Man, there is a lot. There is a lot possible. Oh, oh, I didn't tell you guys. So, I am just haunted, I think, because I made that video about the Chris Wu sex doll and also just all the other weird random K-pop merch. I order a lot of stuff from AliExpress, and a few months ago I ordered a bunch of art supplies, mostly stuff for resin. And when it came in the mail 3 months later, because pandemic, but when it came in the mail 3 months later, it was definitely not art supplies. It was a sex doll head, and I still have it. It's in a bag, and I don't know what to do with it other than freak my friends out with it. It's so heavy. It's so heavy. I'm just like, if the head is this heavy, how the hell do people pick up the full dolls? Also, how did this company not realize that they were sending out the wrong fucking thing? I'm like, what is happening in China right now that they sent out a sex doll head instead of like some silicone? Well, I guess that kind of makes sense because I did order silicone molds, but I also ordered silicone molds and resin supplies like tools and actual UV resin. But when I emailed them, they were just like, "Oh, just keep the head and we'll refund you." And I'm like, I don't want to keep the head. I'm like, I'm glad I got my money back, but I don't want this thing. So it is in, and it's in the bag that it came in, because it also came in like not a burlap sack, but it came in like a fabric sack. So it is still in the fabric sack under a table in my room because I don't know what to do with it except be traumatized because I know that there's a head under the table in my room. So I said, I guess this one to slowly drink away your problems. I think I'm just cursed. I think I'm just cursed. Tamisha said, wait, I can get a sex doll from AliExpress going to check research. Did you not see my video? They've got replicas of K-pop idols as sex dolls on AliExpress. Amanda said, glue on idol selfie onto it and make it into a shrine. No, no, we absolutely will not be doing that. I think we need to get Let's get some food going here. We got let's see here. Get get some food going. There we go. There we go. All right, that works. And see, Jimin's making some kebabs already. So let's just there we go. There we go. Now what do we want to do with Dara? Dara. There we go. Just we get our chopsticks going. Just get some meat going. This is for you guys because I'm a vegetarian. So this is all stuff for you guys right here. Tamisha said I did see it, but I must have missed the part of got on AliExpress. Yep. Yeah, there's some things on AliExpress. Like I love AliExpress. That's where I get like I do probably a good, I'll say 75% of my shopping for business, like my art business. Like I get a lot of my art supplies from there. I buy a lot of clothes from there. Um yeah, it's a great resource, but it's also very creepy some of the things that you can find on there. At one point in time I really wanted to start a series, like start a second channel and start like a fake like QVC like home shopping network channel type thing and just review products that I found on AliExpress because man, you come across some weird shit on AliExpress. Cheap, but very weird. Karina said we can grill some tofu on those abs too. Yes, we can. I forgot tofu. Teresa said, "Look, Rain can take some more meat." What are you saying there, ma'am? Hold on, wait. Let's There we go. Is that better? Is that better? We'll just give him a whole plate to take care of. There. Does that work? Does that work for you? Why do y'all watch me? I'm weird as fuck. Why do y'all watch me? Tamisa said I get weird color hair from AliExpress. I've done that too. I've gotten like some bulk hair and whatnot from AliExpress to make things for friends, make hair pieces for friends and whatnot. It's a great website when it works. Like the pandemic has kind of messed things up because like shipping already takes a long time from there. Normally like anywhere between like the shortest time I think I've had from AliExpress was like 2 weeks, but it can take up to like 3 months for some things. But the pandemic, it was kind of like it could be 3 months or it could be never. Amanda said we're weird as fuck too, and I appreciate y'all for that. I haven't used Wish though, and it's like everyone that I always talk to when I tell them I buy stuff on AliExpress, they're just like, "Why that website's so sketchy?" But they are people that use Wish and like get their money taken all the time, and I'm just like, it's pretty much the same thing, but I don't know why, but I trust AliExpress a lot more than I trust Wish. Tamisha said I've used it fine. Like I very rare like I have gotten some like crappy stuff from there, but I was able like I've never had a situation where I've gotten something that was either crappy or broken or bad quality that I didn't get my money back. Um like I have gotten some clothes that were definitely not what was in the picture whatsoever, but they've really gotten better with their like in-house customer service and being able to open a dispute where even if you can't come to an agreement with the seller, AliExpress, if you upload pictures or proof or whatever, they'll give you your money back right away, pretty much. So I haven't had too much of a problem ordering from there. Kathleen said wishes sucks. Yeah, they are. Like a friend of mine owns a little chocolate shop, I think I've mentioned before, and for a little while to try to make just like a little side money, she was a Wish pickup spot where you could order things from Wish, and then when they got into the US and delivered, you could pick them up from her store instead of having it delivered to you, and it would be cheaper. We had so like I would help her out when she got way more orders than she thought she was going to. So I would go in there like once a week to help her like organize things and help with pickups and whatnot. And man, Wish was like their customer service was non-existent. Um, like constantly we had issues where things would go missing, or it would say that things were delivered to us that weren't delivered, or people didn't understand and would think that when they would order things off Wish that it would be delivered to us the next day and they'd be able to pick up things like the next day. I'm like, no, it's still going to take like the 2 weeks to a month or whatever it is for it to come from China, and then you can pick it up from here. That's it. But yeah, Wish was an absolute nightmare, and I have never actually bought anything off of it, and I don't think I ever will. We're gonna get rid of. There we go, because I feel like he just needs a. There we go. There we go. There we go. This is so creepy. What the hell am I doing? This is y'all fault. You guys are the ones that suggested a Korean barbecue restaurant this week. Hi, Boogie. Welcome. Amanda said it now. I'm on AliExpress. No, I'm sorry. Like I said, I love that website, and I also like hate it at the same time because it's always an adventure when I open the app to see what they've recommended to me. Like the one that they keep putting. You rubbing the meat on Ray? No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. You saw nothing. The one thing that Ally keeps recommending to me, and I don't know why, is a fleshlight for dogs. One, my dog is so old, I don't think he would even know what the hell to do with that. But two, why? Did you put oil on the abs to avoid meat from sticking on them? I did. I did. I made sure that was the first thing that happened. I mean, I said the fuck why like that's and apparently I'm just gonna whoop, I just gonna go away apparently. Um, yeah, I don't know why. I that's a question I've been asking myself. Burn it. Boogie said must be talking about Wish. We were talking about Wish for a little bit, but mostly we're talking about AliExpress. Because I was mentioning that they screwed up. I can't say AliExpress screwed it up because it was the individual seller on because it's individual shops, but the seller on AliExpress messed up my order, and instead of sending me resin like in art supplies and stuff that I ordered, they sent me a sex doll head that now lives in a bag under a table in my bedroom because I don't know what to do with it. Okay, but if the meat does stick to the abs, I volunteer for kitchen duty. All right, we'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind because we're always hiring. We are always hiring here at um I don't know what the hell this place is called. You guys gotta let me know what should this restaurant be called. We've got to come up with names for all of our weird establishments that we create here on the stream on Sundays. Eventually, we're just gonna have our own like mall or town because we're gonna have different like weird. We've already got Wanho Nuts. We've got our donut shop, and then we've got our laundromat from last week, and now we've got our Korean barbecue restaurant. Rita says, I have a theory. What if the seller or someone on AliExpress saw your video and decided to send it as a follow? Oh dear God. Hey, like I'm not even, wouldn't even be surprised. Because, like I said, in that follow up video that I made, the reason I was able to make a follow up video was because someone that you worked or used to work in a shop that made those dolls saw my video and offered to send me a promotional video that they had that they were using on their website. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone from that shop on AliExpress may have seen my video. Also, I need you guys to start sharing um my videos and rewatching some videos because I really need the sex doll video to stop being my most viewed video. I really do, because it's bringing some weird people into the channel. Like, I don't want to delete it, but it's like the only video on my channel that gets like consistent views. So it's messing up the YouTube algorithm recommends my channel to. So currently the only people that are watching, not even watching my videos plural, but watching that video is men from the Philippines for some reason. So that's a thing. Someone said it would be a mean gag gift, but I have not used them before. Put a wig on it and call it Kiki. What? I don't want to name it because when you name things, you give them power. Can we do like a sex toy store next? Um, if YouTube won't like completely nuke my channel for that, sure, I don't care. This said not that kind of toy shop. Oh, she said not that kind of toy. See, I'm like, sorry. Karina says I've been rewatching your videos. Anyways, gotta max up. Thank you. I appreciate that. This group toy shop will not be suitable for YouTube. We can do a toy store next. We can do a normal toy store next. Well, as normal as it could be on this channel. Dab, delicious, absolute barbecue. I thought it was good. I thought it was gonna be delicious ass barbecue. Oh God, now that made me think of what was it? It's barbecue and foot massage. That's a video that keeps coming up on my feed too because YouTube's been doing that. Hey, this video came out 10 years ago. Don't you want to watch it now? Listen, YouTube, let us see idols and harness. I mean, NCT127 has got that like on lock, like completely. Just SM Entertainment in general has the harness game on lock. Like I'm very convinced that the SM stylists have just been shopping at extremerestraints.com and then writing it off as something else on the bill. Because man, you said ass, and that made me remember how young Mom Bees throwing a tantrum over Shunu admitting he's an ass man. Man, let that man like what he likes. He would know. Sugar Bear over there. Man, it said they have a harness storage full of harnesses. I wouldn't be surprised because apparently it looks like SM never throws anything away. Right? Like SM hasn't owned a full shirt in like 3 years. See, what they're doing is because Lisa Man's spending all this extra money on all this like technology and whatnot, they've got to reuse clothes and they've got to share. So they're just making everything like unisex now. So the guy groups and the girl groups can all just wear the same shit, which I'm 100% okay with. I have no problem with that. Storage and crop tops. Sometimes those harnesses remind me of those leashes people put on their kids. Bad. Some of them need them. Some of them need them. Tell me, Hey Chan from NCT 127 don't need to be put on a leash sometimes. I can totally see Mark or Johnny walking him around on a kid leash. I mean, Shonu admitted to watching porn since fifth grade and got into the company because someone told him he might get ass. I respect. I respect the honesty as well. Like I need more idols to just be real about this shit. Like there's got to be a lot of companies that are just losing their shit now because we're really moving to an era where we let's be completely honest, like most of us are aware that the personalities of idols are very manufactured. And it got to the point where in the past there were former idols that have admitted that their companies would give them scripts and basically give them a character to play that was like completely different from who they really were. But we're really moving into an era where idols are just like, fuck that, I'm gonna be myself and I'm like, damn the consequences. And I'm 100% here for it. Green said Starship, give us that Monstex photo book, please. Man, I mean, look, look. I got $5. If you're putting certain idols on the end of the leash, I'll be their mom. Alright, I need y'all to calm down. We are not we're not doing this. Just need to calm down a little bit. Need to come over here and just make sure we check the meat a little bit. There we go. Okay. Just make sure things are kebabs are done. Amanda said bonk. I oh man, no, I forgot it. I had a bonk hammer and I forgot to add it. Dang it. I forgot to add it to the sources for the stream. I'm still figuring out how to really use Streamlabs and how to do like a lot of things that VTubers do. Like there's a way that you can have like certain words that people type in the chat trigger things that happen on screen, and I've been trying to figure out how to do that, but it keeps messing up every time I do. So I don't know if it's just like my laptop not being powerful enough or what. I might end up just having to like pay somebody. Like I've already been thinking about paying someone to create some custom made assets for me, but I might have to just pay somebody to like completely set up my Streamlabs for me. So I'd like to put Wano on a nice leash. What leash? That man cannot be contained. The that wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. He would just flex and get out. I think Mark's personality is his real personality. He's just way too awkward for anyone to write into a script. No, see, like I said, I think we're in that generation of where like most idols are their genuine selves, like newer idols. But from like the 90s to like I'll say 2012, we were definitely in that era of idols were very, very much scripted. To be just okay, we're only 28 minutes in, and I'll behave. Do we have a time? Do we have a time limit? Do we have a time limit? Is it like the YouTube thing where it's like which I didn't think this was actually a real thing. I'd heard some other YouTubers say it, but I didn't think it was a thing until the YouTube creative team actually confirmed that you get penalized and your videos basically get suppressed if you cuss in the first at first they said it was the first minute of a video, but now I think it's like within the first 30 seconds of a video. If you swear or if you say like any offensive words in the first like 30 seconds to a minute of your video pretty much automatically gets suppressed in the algorithm. 30 minutes that everyone can go crazy. Is that a rule that we're creating? Is that a stream rule? Everyone behave for the first 30 minutes, and then after that, fuck it, everything goes. We have a father. Oh God, yeah, I forgot today was Father's Day. Damn, we should have been at had a I should have we should have had a picnic, or we should I guess we are grilling, so I don't know. I'm gonna say it still counts. We gotta let the people come in so that way we can let people in and show them that we're not real questionable people. Oh, so what it is? It's like we're letting the normies come in, see what's up, and then make sure that they're all gone before we all like just start acting a fool. I support it. I'm okay with it. Yes, they need to let them be more personable. They drink, they smoke, and yes, some like to get freaky. You know what all of them do. All of them do. You just can't say it in front of the cameras. Like I said, we're getting to that point where more people are able to just be their true, authentic selves. I think that it's the problem isn't the idols. The problem is like some fans that still hold. Well, I guess it also comes with the problem of just like calling idols idols, where it's meant to seem like they should be held to some higher regard. I don't know. I've also been drinking, so I'm a little too buzzed to have philosophical conversations right now. I apologize. Tarisha said false sense of security. That's right. We bring them in with the wholesome. Well, looking around here, I guess we're not bringing anybody in with anything wholesome. But welcome. Someone said something about the 2 p.m. teasers, which reminds me. Can I pull it up here? I don't know. I don't know what I can actually do while the stream is live. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess anything up. There was a GIF of 2 p.m. that I was going to put in the background here, but it started slowing things down, so I had to take it down. But it was a GIF of 2 p.m. pouring water on each other. Amanda says, I have nothing to drink. Next week I'll be sure to have my drinks ready. It's one of my streams. Of course you should always have drinks ready. See, I've got my soju here. I'm very upset because soju is so cheap, but so expensive to have shipped to you. Like anywhere that will actually ship it, charge like double what a bottle of soju actually costs. And unfortunately, the part of the city that I live in, there's like no liquor store near me that carries it in store. Just make sure. There we go. Just get that over there. There we go. Okay. Check the kebabs. There we go. We gotta check. There we go. Almost done. So it said drinks are a must. Absolutely. So what else happened this week in the world of K-pop that I missed? We still bullying people? I've been doing my best to kind of stay away from a lot of the like K-pop news sites. Karina said the only place to carry soju, and it's always awkward when I walk in and buy it at a Japanese restaurant. You shouldn't feel awkward. They should feel awkward because they're selling Korean liquor at a Japanese restaurant. That's on them. Me and my friends used to go to the Korean grocery store to get it. The little old lady that ran it liked to get it to get lit. Man, old Korean women, man, they drink you under the table. One of my friends used to work at a Korean hair store, and she would constantly the one of the ladies that ran it would constantly invite my friend out because I think she was trying to set her up with her son because she really wanted him to move out of the house and get married. So he was she was constantly like trying to set the two of them up. Um but I did go and hang out with them once and she was like 60 something. Oh man, I couldn't hang. I could not hang. This little old lady, she drank me under the table, man. So she said I'm sipping 1800. My friend from Koreatown in New Jersey and ships it to me. Oh, you got the connection. Let me see. Can she hook me up too? There is like an Asian grocery store that I usually go to here. Like I think I've talked about before how just kind of offensive I feel like the Asian part of Cleveland is because you know how like most cities have their Koreatown, they have their Chinatown, or they have like Little Tokyo or something. We just have Asia Town. Like it's just one big amalgamation. There is nothing separated. It's just Asia Town. Like I believe like 30, 40 years ago we actually had like individual like Chinatowns and whatnot, but somehow it just became Asia Town, and I don't know why. I just feel like that's like I feel like that's offensive in some way. But that's normally where I would go get most of my stuff. But it's like downtown Cleveland, and I live on the west side of Cleveland. So since the pandemic, I just don't feel like going anywhere. So I haven't been there in over a year. Karina said J Park being ignorant again. Um, I saw something. I saw people were pissed off at him on Twitter, but I just decided not to even look up or look into like what he had done to piss people off this time. I kind of like washed my hands of Jay Park like 2 years ago after the whole like Ben Baller situation and whatnot. So I haven't even been paying attention to Jay Park in a minute. Tamisha said if I give him the order and it's in stock, he can get it. All right, okay, all right. We might be getting the liquor hookup. I see you. Thank you. Nope, nothing new here. We have an H Mart, and I think they sell soju. Hey, why does H Mart sound so familiar? We don't have shit in Ohio. Amanda said more and more every day. I understand why he got slapped. That I do recall. That was after I kind of stopped fucking around with Jay Park, but I do remember that. If I wanted to grab my sander and give him the Mexican treatment. Oh man. Now you got me like curious, like if people are that mad, I might have to look it up and see what's going on. Listen, Jay Park was kicked out of Korea for saying racist things against Koreans. He was sent back to America to learn better. How? did Yeah, he was kicked out of Korea for saying racist things about Koreans. But then they kind of let him right back in with open arms because he sang a couple covers. He didn't learn anything. Hi, Remy. Man said I don't know what the Dre Park Ben Baller thing. It was just him just making light of and backing just ignorant racist shit that Ben Baller said. Nothing new. Hello, Remy. Oh, that makes me. I forgot. I was gonna hide Remy in the background here too, and I forgot to do it. Cat said we don't claim him. See, it's sad because I used to fuck with Jay Park. I used to fuck with Jay Park hardcore, but just it's one thing when you're young and you're ignorant, but when basically the same shit keeps happening over and over again, and you learn nothing, I can't fuck with you no more. He made it private, but you can look at some reactors pages to see it. It's a song called DNA Remix, and it's racist as hell. Oh, fuck. Here we go again. He said he definitely couldn't learn to not be racist in America. I mean, true. Very, very true. So, this is off topic, but one of the reasons that the stream was late today was I fell into a rabbit hole because I've been working on one video for the last week and a half, and this video is taking forever. I know I've been trying to make my videos like under like 10 minutes or under, but this one is definitely gonna have to be a little bit longer. This is up going back to being almost 20 minutes long. But it needs to be. But while I this happens all the time when I'm like researching one video, I'll find stuff for something else. And just by coincidence while I was working on this video, I came across like a bunch of old articles about like the K-pop training camps. Do you guys remember a couple years ago when those were like a big thing and like every country had their own like come train to be a K-pop idol for 2 weeks or some like ridiculous bullshit like that. And there was one that was just being promoted hardcore by like every K-pop news site. Like all K-pop was promoting them. Soompi was promoting them, and they were all sponsored. I found out. Um, And I'm just like, most of them don't exist anymore, and like have scrubbed all information about them off of the internet. So now I'm curious, and I gotta want to look into that. And I got lost, like, rabbit holing, looking into specifically this one company that was called Secret Nine, that basically was like, oh, we can train you to be a K-pop idol in 2 to 4 weeks. Just give us, like, I think the 2 week training program was almost $3,000. The 4 week training program was almost $5,000. And at the end of it, you didn't even like get to audition for a company or something. You just got to perform in front of the people that ran the training camp. But I never see any, like, you they most of them have disappeared, and I never see anybody talking about them anymore. And they've deleted pretty much all of their social media except for their Instagram and their Facebook, but those haven't been updated since 2018. But you can't find any video or blog post or anything like that that someone posted that attended or talked about it is gone. Like, even going through the Internet Archive using the Wayback Machine, they've been completely scrubbed from the internet. And Secret Nine took down all of their videos off YouTube and deleted their channel. Like, the only videos I've been able to find about them was one of the vocal coaches still has videos up that are unlisted, but I was able to find them through an old forum post. But it was just weird to me because I'm just like, and secret, like, some of them were, there was one in like every country basically. Like, there was one big one in Australia, but for Secret 9, you actually had to fly to South Korea. So, like, in their promotional video, like, they've got people that came from, like, France, Australia. And I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Why are you giving these people, like, $4,000 or $5,000 for, like, 2 to 4 weeks of training? And they're not, like, even, like, setting you up with a company, or, like, they give you they said that they were going to give you tips on how to audition for a K-pop company. I'm like, y'all could have taken that $5,000 and just went and auditioned for a company on your own, and still had $5,000 in your pocket, or used it to like set up your life in Korea if that's something you were really serious about. But what the fuck did y'all think y'all were doing in like 2 to 4 weeks, where most idols spend like 2 to 4 years, if not longer, training? Korea said it was sus as hell when I found the flyer down in K Town and went. Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing flyers for him. I was doing a convention in LA a couple years ago, and I remember seeing flyers for. I don't remember if it was Secret Nine, but it was like some K-pop boot camp. Said that sounds like the space camp my dad used to send me to. Never learned anything about space. See, the difference is though, like, at least with Space Camp, they weren't like, hey, give us $5,000 and we're gonna train you to work at NASA. Like, Space Camp, like, it was what it was. It was like, hey, we're sending you to camp because we assume you like space and want to learn more about space. We're not having you give us $5,000 for something you're passionate about that you hope to be your career someday. Well, I mean, I guess they probably could be. There probably are several people that went to space camp that wanted to make a career out of it. Korea said if they don't teach you the soul stare to make panties drop, then it's not legit. See, if I were to open up a K-pop boot camp, that would be like That would be like day two. Day one is basically just not is not to fall down. Day two is K-pop soul stare. Day three is don't be racist. But I don't know if I can. If I can find more information, I probably will make a full video about that, because I just thought about that. That was like very interesting to me. For like a good 3 years, there were just constantly like K-pop boot camps popping up all over the place. Day four, a proper way to put on a shirt. No, day four is the proper way to take off a shirt. I made us at a whole 4 week class on body rolls. Yep, yep, yeah. You need it. You gotta work up those ab muscles. We'll do some prancer size. Day four is the lip and nose rub. Does that also go with the lip bite and the eyebrow raise? Magic Mike classes. You know what? I always thought that was funny. Like, I'm pretty sure they probably do have them in like bigger cities like LA and whatnot. But you see a lot of places where they have like the pole dancing classes, like for older women, or just people that just want to have a good time, or just like the pole dancing classes to get in shape and whatnot. But you never really see stuff like that most places geared toward men. Um, my old apartment that's not that far away from where I live now, when I used to take Remy for walks, there was a dance studio at the end of my street, and constantly they would have pole dancing classes for older women, so it's like women 50 and up. And it was a sight to see for sure. But there were definitely some ladies in there that I'm just like, man, I can't climb the pole like that. Good on you, grandma. Amanda said, as long as the shirt comes off, I don't care which way that they took it off. But there is proper shirt taking off etiquette when it comes to a stage performance. You got to make sure that you're not getting your microphone caught. Also, depending upon the channel, you can only show one nipple at a time. I forgot what station that was, but that was actually a real thing where guys couldn't be completely shirtless, and if they were partially shirtless, only one nipple could be showing at a time. Like, I think it was Robbie from Vix that talked about that, but I can't remember what broadcast station it was. But I'm like, that is the most random fucking like rule I have ever heard. Day five is a surprise attack. Come in looking cute and innocent. 1 second, then attack with the sexy. I think maybe you teach that on the same day that you do the soul stare. Um, because you gotta have like the deer in headlights look and then the puppy dog eyes. Day six, to me, not day six. Day six is floor humping and hip thrusts. Oh, you okay, Ruby? Is that why Johnny had bandages wrapped around one nipple during kicking? Man, can we talk about all the extra like bandages and tape during Kick It? Like, granted, I know it was like martial arts themed and Bruce Lee themed, and but that still had me gone. I was very like, I know it was part of the aesthetic, but for a second I was convinced that he was hiding a tattoo, which he was, but the tape wasn't hiding the tattoo. He did get like a gigantic shoulder piece shortly after that. I'm still waiting for Yuta from 127 to show his new tattoos, because he confirmed during a live that he got two done on his stomach and one on his chest. So I'm just pick pictures, or it didn't happen, preferably in HD. All puns intended. Broke button broke and the jacket came off. Rain scolded him, but they got in trouble. That's right. Shit, like stuff. Man, clothes and K-pop are sponsored and they're expensive, so you can't just be ripping things. Like there is etiquette to like taking things off. Cause he didn't wear that weird bra guys had to wear back then. It was like they were trying to wrap a mummy backstage. I want Yuta to get his nipple rings. Wait, what? 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 I didn't hear anything about that. I do remember that, like, for a week, people were freaking out thinking he got his tongue pierced. Because there was, like, a video where it was just a bubble spit or something while he was talking, but people were convinced that it was, like, a tongue ring. So, like, every video that came out, or like every live he did for like a week, everybody was zooming in on his mouth. But no, he did not get his tongue pierced, even though I'd be 100% okay with that if he did, to go along with his belly button piercing. You know who I always forget has Remy, are you okay, sir? You know who I always forget has tattoos? Because you don't see them that often, but then when you do see, you're like, oh yeah, you do have that. Daehyun from BAP, I constantly forget that he has a gigantic tramp stamp of all of the members from BAP's names and like the word best absolute perfect on his lower back. Poor Taeil. They cover that boy up all the way. He's gonna have one of those moments where he's just gonna unleash the beast eventually, because you can see that he wants to. Tabisha says Yuta has talked about piercings. I know he's talked about, like, because people have asked about his belly button piercing. I don't remember him talking about nipple piercings. I do remember him saying he wanted to get his eyebrow done, which once again, I'd be completely okay with that. Boogie said, "Really?" I'm not. We've fallen behind a bit. I'm not really sure which part. I heard her tats of BAP. Yeah, Daehyun has a large tattoo on his lower back that says best absolute perfect, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think it also has like the members' names around it. If you go on his Instagram right now, there's a picture that he posted recently where he's in the gym and he's doing pull-ups, and you can clearly see the tattoo on his lower back. I completely forgot that was a thing, because I remember that babies were going nuts before anyone actually knew he had it, like during an episode of BAP's reality show when they were in Hawaii, and he was in the pool and people were trying to figure out if it was a tattoo or not. Taeil needs to be covered. He is a child. Taeil is the oldest member of 127. Let the man be a man. I hate saying this, but Shotaro, waiting to see when he follows Yuta. No. Shotaro, Baby Rue will be a sweet, innocent little nugget forever. So said Jungkook from BTS, his whole right arm. Man. Look, I was never one of those people that was like head over heels for Jungkook. Like, I thought he was adorable, thought he was very talented. Like, every now and again, he like tried to climb off the ice cream social list. But let me tell you, tattoos are my shit. So when he decided that he was just going to paint his entire arm, I was just like, sir, What you doing? What you doing? I'm gonna need you to cease and desist everything that you're doing right now. Tail is my age. He's my age too. Daehyun is so handsome. Daehyun, it's those lips, man. Them, how he never became like a spokesperson for some like lip balm brand is beyond me. And I used it's mostly that top lip that man. And I used to hate when the makeup artist used to put concealer on his top lip to try to make it look smaller. And I was just like, would you stop that? Karina said, I respect him having tattoos, but seeing some armies literally copy his sleeve and understand why. And oh god, it's not just him. That's been a thing for pretty much ever, with like people copying other people's tattoos because they think they look cool. Like I even remember in like American music, like that was a big thing like in the 2000s with like LL Cool J, and I can't remember who the other rapper was. But he copied a tattoo of a microphone that LL Cool J had, and LL was basically explaining why he got it, the specific design and everything, and the importance of it to him, and the guy kind of just blew it off. And remember, it was just like a dumb beef thing. Like I specifically remember an LL Cool J song where the lyrics were like, let's get back to this mic on my arm, and he like goes off on the guy. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. Nope, because Taeyeol does it when Chunla and Jisung will follow, and that must not happen. Listen, listen. You guys come in close here. Let's talk for a second. Listen. Listen. You guys listening? I'm getting real close to the mic for this one. Jisung is a baby. He will always be a baby. He can go sit in the car. But Chunla, he could get it. I'm just saying. That child needs to go sit up under his mom somewhere because he's been trying to come for me lately, and I don't appreciate it. Said you said the same thing about your rude child Bam Bam. I need him to go back. You know what? Bam Bam is not my child anymore. Bam Bam, like he just want to act up. He just want to act up too much that I might just have to disown him. Shotaro's in NCT. He's not going to be a sweetheart forever. Look, look. He is a Japanese member, and I have a feeling that they're holding on to him to put him into the Japanese subunit of NCT. And considering in Japan, they're a little bit more conservative when it comes to their boy groups, maybe they won't make him a hoe. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know what other way to how other way to phrase that. I'm sorry, I just snorted. I'm seeing a lot of not Chunlas in the chat. Jisung is the forever maknae. He is. He really, really is. Speaking of Jisung, when I was making that video about Shinhwa, I kept looking at the one member Haesung from Shinhwa, and he looks so much like Jisung that it's just like SM cloning confirmed, man. See how your baby Bam Bam turned out. Like I said, I just that's not my child anymore. Yang Yang has been coming for me. Man, Yang Yang, I don't know, like every once in a while.
Normally, it's like when Yang Yang starts coming for me, it's when he's with 10. Like when he's doing hanging out with or doing anything with 10, it's just like fuckboy mode gets activated somehow. Has been coming for me. I've been trying to get in touch with 10 and to come pick up their son. What are you talking about? John will come pick him up, but 10's gonna be in the corner like egging him on. Man, to send 10 out of here raising thoughts. I mean, facts. What about Yugam? Yugam is still a baby to me. Like, Yugam, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't care how sexy he tries to be. He's still got a baby face. And it just has no effect on me whatsoever. Like, I'm like the proud big sister with Yugam. And that's all it ever will be, I think. He said 10 is my bias, but all of Wavy with Yang Yang in the corner can get it. I don't know what it is, but members of Dream and Wavy have been coming for me a lot lately. And normally I don't pay, like, I love Wavy's music, but I didn't really pay too much attention to the individual members too much outside of like 10 and Lucas, but I've been trying to distance myself from Mr. Lucas. Um but Dream, Mr. Renjun, when he had that silver undercut thing going, sir, sir, you were very, you are a lot younger than me. I need you to stop. I need a stylist to go ahead and just shave your head because I don't need to be looking at you. But who I have been looking at a lot lately is Xiao Chun. I don't know what it is, and one of my friends was messing with me about this recently. She's like, "You have a thing for eyebrows," and I never thought about it until I started looking at some of my other biases and like even guys in like IRL that I've been into. She's like, "You have a thing for guys with like thick ass Angry Bird eyebrows." And she's right. I do. I don't know what it is. Like Shaoshan has like these like super thick, serious eyebrows, and then like Chris, who has been like high up on my bias list for years, has them like bushy ass Angry Bird eyebrows. Is there such a thing as, I was gonna say an eyebrow fetish, but we're not gonna go. Nope, we're not. Nope, we're not. What were we talking about? We're not talking about that anymore. I apologize if you guys can hear Remy making all these weird noises in the background. He's like rolling around the floor. Wavy, always shirtless. It's like they come home to the dorm, and as soon as they walk through the door, they take off their shirt and grab an animal to snap a selfie. I mean, I'm okay with it. I love animals, and I love abs. Remy! Jesus. Sorry, my dog just spilled water all over the place. It has been coming for me on Insta. Yes, yes, yes. I love that golden brown man. Looked like he was cooked on both sides. I need Lucas to officially release Boom. Yes, I know he was referring to the super, but I need that on repeat. Yeah. I need SM to like start releasing a lot of the solos, like studio versions of a lot of the solos from the concerts. Like I'm still waiting on a studio version of Do It Together from EXO's concert from like 4 years ago. So it says Xiaozhan has the most beautiful eyebrows. He does. I don't know what it is. I love thick eyebrows on dudes. Not to the point where you've got like a unibrow or they're like taking up like 99% of your forehead. But you don't they just let them go. Just let them grow. I'll speak on it. 10 learn the ways of the thought abs is given to the masses. Like I posted on Twitter earlier, like I really need to see 10 and Lay collab and dance together because I don't know, like looking when I look at 10, I get such Lay vibes from him often, especially when he's dancing. Okay, you done making your old man noises, buddy? I swear my dog is getting old, like he's pushing 11 years and he started making like legit old man noises recently and I don't know how to feel about that. Tisha says all of Vic's free pass. There's a video on Instagram of a fan call and Xiaojun asked the fan why she's showing off her ring and if she got married. Made my heart flutter. Aw. He's also just a sweetheart too, because like I've watched a lot of his like pre-debut videos, and that man, even before the SM like makeover, chef's kiss. I don't know why I snapped my fingers for a chef's kiss, but it happened, and we're living with it now. Just I don't know what is wrong with Remy right now. He is being way more active than he has been this entire day. I apologize. So when I posted that video about Super Junior and the member that had to wear the mask after debut, a lot of you commented about Pink Fantasy, and I felt like such an idiot after I posted that video because I had completely forgot about the girl from Pink Fantasy that wears the bunny mask, which now I guess she mostly wears a cat mask. Because I watched some of their, I never really paid much attention, like I was aware of them, but I never really paid much attention to them because I didn't like the first two songs that they released that much. But I did go back and watch some of their live performances, and I saw that they have a comeback recently that actually looks like it might be pretty good. But I felt so bad for her wearing that fuzzy ass giant bunny head because like I've been at conventions where I've tried to wear a mask or something like that all day long or just even for a few hours and it had to come off. I can't imagine like dancing around in a hot furry mask. So I think that's why they said that they gave her the like half cat mask for this comeback. But they still have her wearing the bunny mask in some of the teasers. But I started looking more into Pink Fantasy, and this, like, I'm not that into their music, but the background of the group itself is just fascinating as far as the changing of the members where they constantly have, like, temporary members coming in and out. And then I found out, like, one of the members, or one of the temporary members was a former member of the Piggy Dolls, which was the plus-size K-pop group. And then I also just like the lore that they have behind the group and the girl that's wearing the mask, who apparently said she's not going to take off her mask until the group gets their first win. Yes, the collab we all need, that hip thrusting tie Chinese pride. I'm just saying, I just need 10 and Lay to just record like even just a dance practice video or something together. I'm just saying. Or you know what? Because we never got it, I'm still waiting for Lay to perform the Eve. That would be like the perfect video if we could just get 10 and Lay performing the Eve. I'd be completely happy with that. Not gonna lie, I thought when you said you were making a Super Junior video, I thought it might have been about their movie. That is coming, okay? That is coming. Because there's another video that I'm working on that kind of coincides with that I need to finish first. But I'm thinking about, I don't know if I want to do the Idol movie series as like watch-alongs or reviews or just flat out like behind the scenes production type videos, but that, trust me, the video about the movie is coming. Did you see EXO's new video? Yes, I did. The Don't Fight the Green Screen. It's amazing. All I'm saying, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, if they knew that they were going to green screen Lay in, why couldn't they put him in more of the video? Like, they literally had Lay hiding in a closet to sing one line and then green screened him into the dance party at the end. Like, I'm sure that they had other footage where they could have like shrunk him down and put him in the background of like a long shot or something. Not just one closet shot. Tamisha said, "Shh, we don't talk about that. Are we talking about the Super Junior movie?" Oh no, we're gonna talk about the Super Junior movie. We're gonna talk at length about the Super Junior movie in the future. It's a national treasure. We clearly have different a national treasure. Look, it is a national treasure. It's a K-pop relic. It belongs into it was the Indiana Jones. It belongs in a museum. That is basically what my channel's become. Anyways, it's just like an archive of like old weird K-pop moments. Cat said all K movies including Reigns. Maybe Reigns. I doubt that I'll make videos about Reigns movies. One, because they would get copyright struck to hell. But also, I'm trying to kind of keep it a little more music themed because at least with like Super Junior's movie, they technically were playing themselves in the movie. Amanda said, yes, wait, let's talk about it. Locked up in a vault. You mean like HOT who have completely erased their movie from history? Like, you cannot find a copy of their movie anywhere, to the point that they actually have a page on the Lost Media Wiki because no one has been able to track down an upload, a physical copy of HOT's movie in over like 10-15 years. And even the guys themselves said that that movie will never see the light of day. At one point, like 5 years ago, somebody thought they had found it in China, but it turned out to be just the making of the movie. So if they had the chance, I'm pretty sure Super Junior probably would try to erase their movie from the internet. Um, they should just need to like get a hold of the guys from HOT and see how they did it, because they apparently did it successfully. Like, aside from that making of clip and a couple pictures, like, you cannot find HOT's movie anywhere. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. Says I love Lost Media. I love Lost Media too. Was it the channel Blame It on Jorge? Is one of my favorite YouTube channels. I also like Justin Wang's videos on Lost Media, which his community is awesome because he will post something that has been lost for like years, and within like a couple days like his community bands together and they will find it. It belongs in an incinerator like most of SM's movies. But they're look, I love bad cringy B movies. So I completely support idol movies, and it reminds me of like the early 2000s when like crappy cash grabby studios here in the US would make horrible B movies starring like boy bands. I wish I could remember of what the name of the really bad movie, but it had NSYNC in it. It had back like some of the members of Backstreet in it. It had some of the guys from O Town in it. But that's what some of these K-pop movies remind me of. Hang on just a second. I need to sneeze. Yeah, okay. And we're okay now. Just some things need to remain hidden. Donghae brings up their movie now and then. Heechul always tells him not to bring it. Like I'm saying, if they really want it to go away, they just got to talk to the members of HOT because somehow they figured out a way to make their movie disappear. Everyone in Super Junior wants to forget minus him. Bad movies are great. I love weird kitschy 70s. I do too. Man, there's a YouTube channel, Good Bad Flicks. The guy who presents, he's a little stiff and a little boring, but his information is really good, and the movies that he picks are great, and like the information, like he really does his research. So I love his videos where he just talks about a lot of like really bad but also very very entertaining movies from mostly from like the 70s and 80s, but he does like 90s and 2000 movies occasionally. Another good channel is Weird Movies with Mark. He finds like the craziest, most obscure movies ever, and I absolutely love him. Like there's so many movies that I've watched because I've watched his reviews of them. And most of the, like the super weird movies that he reviews are stuff that you can find on that one free streaming service, Tubi. Like it's free, you just have to watch ads. He says, whenever I answer a TikTok that asks, name the K-pop song that got you into K-pop. Wow, I can't talk. I can't read, apparently. I know people pause when they see my answer. Super Junior's H cooking. I mean... I mean... if that's what you got you in and got you to stay, and like you know what, you do you. The song that got me into K-pop was a GD and Top song, and it's still one of the weirdest MVs I've ever seen. And I miss like super weird K-pop videos like that we were talking about last week. I'm sad that things have like started getting a little bit too westernized. I'm like, no, the reason I got into K-pop like back in 2011, 2012 was because of the weirdness. You guys are taking that away now. That's because it was reported he really doesn't do much in it. I just thought it was the song from the Cooking Mama game. Why does that sound like back in the day when you would use like LimeWire or Pirate Bay to try to download a song or a video or like a movie or something, and it would be labeled as one thing and then it would be completely different? I kind of lied because I'm just like, big GD and Top was like the first like K-pop song I listened to all the way through and got me into K-pop. But the first K-pop song I think I ever heard was like back in 2008, and it was a Psy song. I can't remember what song it was, but I specifically think I was trying to download Death Note. I was trying to download the Death Note anime, like one of the episodes, because it was like uploaded episode by episode or something on. It was either LimeWire or Pirate. It was probably Pirate Bay, and I was like, this file is really really short. And instead of being like episode 3 of the Death Note anime, it was some sigh song. So I think that was actually the first K-pop song that I ever heard. Can a person get into K-pop without knowing it's K-pop? I think so. I mean, you have so many groups that put so much English into their lyrics now, into their songs now, or release just flat out English songs, that I could totally see some. Yeah, actually, recently somebody, I forgot who it was, like got into ATEEZ without actually knowing that they were a K-pop group, and decided to listen to more K-pop because they got into ATEEZ. It was some celebrity. Honestly, Gangnam Style was my first experience. I think Gangnam Style was a lot of people's first experience with K-pop. The song that got me into K-pop isn't even a K-pop song. Boa's Every Heart. Then I went to her discography. Yeah, after GD and Top, I really didn't listen. I listened to a lot of their stuff, and then I figured out that they were in Big Bang, and then I listened to a lot of Big Bang stuff, and then for like a year I didn't really listen to any other K-pop artists. Like eventually I got into like other YG artists. Um but I think the first artist aside from eventually BAP was Boa, and the first like Boa's first song that I heard was um I'll Eat You Up, I think. I forgot what the actual title of the song is, but that was like one of the first songs. I was like, okay, maybe I should like start actually investing time into this old K-pop thing. Oh, and then Karina just said Bo Eat You Up. It's technically the first song in K-pop. That's why I always give Super Junior word as I got into K-pop. Boa got the weebs, yeah. I listened to every BTS song that had already came out the day I first listened to them. Got Seven's A got me into Oh, we don't talk about AO around here. A is just like one of those songs that's just like, I kind of feel like whoever wrote that song got a little lazy on the lyrics, but also I always think about those blue overalls, and I'm just like, who thought that was a good idea? Then I was like, ooh, what other groups are there? And went down the rabbit hole. Yeah, that's pretty much how it happened with me after I finally started deciding that I actually was a K-pop fan, after I got into like a lot of YG artists, and then I found BAP, and I was just like, okay, I really like this group. Maybe there are other K-pop groups outside of YG that I might like, and I kind of rabbit holed from. I basically did the thing on YouTube where I just watched whatever played next after whatever BAP video I was watching. I said that's what happened to me. I got into K-pop when I bought the music video Abracadabra by Brown Eyed Girl. Wow, I can't talk. Brown Eyed Girls on iTunes without knowing they were a K-pop group. Amanda said that Mark's hair is so cute. I don't care. Man, the stylist did most of them so dirty in that video. Like we still have some very questionable clothing choices and hairstyles in K-pop now. But I swear, from there was a time from like 2010 to like 2017 where we were making some choices when it came to hair and makeup and clothing. Like, I do appreciate the fact that they've kind of started like toning down the makeup on male idols now. Like, they still have their BB cream and a little bit of like lip gloss and stuff like that here and there, and they still do very light eyeshadow. But man, there was a time, and especially around like 2012 to like 2014, where male idols just had on like full on faces of makeup. Like, I'm talking lipstick, eyeliner, eyeshadow. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there were definitely times where I was just like, okay, he really doesn't need all that on. Especially like really, really pale idols where it just made them look even more washed out, like Taemin. Like, I wanted to have a stern talking to with Taemin's makeup artist from like 2011 to 2015. Said I heard 2NE1 in the commercials years ago. I stayed up until like 3 a.m. to watch all of Got7's variety shows. Yeah, you know what? We're getting so much more like VOD stuff now, where you can just watch about anything on YouTube or other websites and whatnot, like pertaining to K-pop. I feel like new K-pop fans really just aren't gonna know the experience of having to stay up till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch like a video or a show. For my friend and I, one of my friends was having sleepover. My friend had YouTube just playing whatever anime song came up, then suddenly we looked up as Cooking started playing. YouTube threw us into the Super Junior and TVXQ rabbit hole that night. Every once in a while, the YouTube algorithm does something right. That's when I showed my family, and they were like, "That's a really cute girl." Oh God! Somebody brought up Joe Quan in heels. We don't we don't discuss that video around here. And J Hope and all his feathers. In black and their extreme guy liner and cry. Man, I'm a metal fan, and I was like really, really into pop punk when I was like 14, 15 years old. So I don't have a problem with guy liner. But man, K-pop in like 2012, 2013 was taking it to the extreme. Tarisha said Mark spent all of 2017 looking like he stuck his finger in a socket. I love like shortly before they disbanded, they posted that video where they recreated their looks from like early videos and photo shoots and whatnot, and Mark had to put on that busted ass wig. Yes, Taemin with the porcelain BB cream. Like, his makeup artist did him so dirty. Like his whole style, his whole team did him dirty when he released his first solo album. That like white hair, like want to talk about somebody that looked like they stuck a finger in a socket, and then they put the BB cream over his lip, so he was like looking like a like half vampire, half zombie. EXO Overdose got me hooked into K-pop. Came in recommendation section because I watched Gangnam Style. I remember Jonghyun in the backless tank top. I don't mind like androgynous clothing on male or female idols. That's 100% fine with me. But sometimes you just gotta it you just gotta tone down the makeup. I made it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say disband when I was talking about GOT7. I meant to say leave JYP. Let me correct myself there. Leave JYP, not disband. She had the manicure and the lipstick. You know, the manicure is a big is I've noticed is like a big thing now that I'm seeing more and more male idols wearing nail polish now, but it's only on two fingers on each hand, and it's not just like male K-pop idols. I've noticed like a lot of C-pop idols are doing it too. But then you also have Yuta from NCT 127, who for a while has been like he's been into nail art. So for part of like NCT 2020, he was just painting his own nails and doing like decorating his own nails for a while. And then Johnny did that episode of Johnny's Communication Center where him and Yuta went and got their nails done together. And I was living for that. Like 2 or 3 years ago, my joke was watching a Spanish channel where a girl, I can't read, where a girl went to someone to show him how to look like a K-pop idol. I stopped and told my mom that was really 2000s K-pop look. Yeah, that was not the current K-pop look like the stylist insisted. Man, early 2000s K-pop, like we talk about the styles now, there was a lot of bleached hair, a lot of spiked hair. Like I'm convinced that there was probably a gel shortage in Korea in the early 2000s. Like everybody had anime hair. All of NCT 127 looked like they stuck their fingers in sockets during fire truck air. Man, I don't know what. I've noticed a trend though with SM artists, like when they first debut. It's like a rite of passage that for like the first year to 2 years after an SM group debuts, before they like really become popular, they have to like just wear the ugliest shit, layers upon layers, and they have like the weirdest, most fucked up hair. If you look back at every SM group, they went through what I'll just call their awkward stage. Like, look back at EXO. EXO definitely went through it with like the pirate shirts, the like rainbow palette hair, the shirts that I'm 99% sure were dresses that they just cut the skirt part off of. Why did they make NCT wear everything in the closet at once? That's what he used to say in my old videos, that I'm convinced that the stylist used to just go grab everything off the rack and then throw it in the middle of the floor and then point at one of the members of NCT and go, "You, put that on." No, not that one thing. All of it. Put all of it on right now. Just you. Because I swear they were wearing like 20 layers of clothing. in those first couple of MVs. Like I said, I don't know why SM hated NCT for so long. The clothes, the hair, the clothes, that shit was spiteful. See, I don't think they did. I don't know. I feel like what it is when NCT groups first debut, they give them like the stylists that are like I'm convinced that they're either styled by students or like the stylists who just graduated and think that they're doing something. I don't know. Never forget how they did Tame and Dirty and Dream Girl. Yeah, you see, like I said, like SM groups when they first debut, it's good. You already know it's gonna be a hot ass mess. Even look back at NCT Dream when they first debuted. Like I know that they were all kids. Like I know that like most of them were like roughly around 15, 14, 15 years old. But really, they looked like not even Boy Scouts. They looked like they were wearing some brownie uniforms. aespa has had some pretty good style, but I haven't listened to any of their songs. aespa, yeah, I've see the girl groups. I feel like fare a lot better than the boy groups. Like I feel like with the girl groups, as far as fashion goes, they kind of stick to what is trendy and tried and true because that's what's expected of them. Because especially female idols, because there are a lot of male K-pop fans, but the majority of K-pop fans are female, and female K-pop idols lead the trends as far as fashion goes in South Korea. So I feel like the female groups don't get to be as experimental with their style as they are with the boy groups. Even the ladies at SM were safe from the stylist. Man, yeah, FX had some outfits. FX had some definite outfits. So I liked aespa, even the slower power, but the new saying ain't it. I really haven't been that into any of the songs aespa has put out yet. Think the girls are gorgeous, very talented. Winter is like, ma'am, I need you to stop giving me them eyes. I also, for a minute, was convinced that she was just Jungwoo from 127 in a wig. That's not a knock on her or Jungwoo. They are both beautiful, but for a second in one of the teasers, I was very convinced that that was just him with a wig on. Um, I'm actually into the avatar concept. I like it. I wish they were actually in the videos and performances more. Debut TVXQ had the extreme rocker hairstyle. TVXQ had like anime hair. And it's like so funny to me because in early like first gen K-pop, they were very very much influenced by what the guys in J-pop groups were doing. And now it's like a complete like 180 where it's now the J-pop groups are like really influenced by what K-pop groups are doing. So it's just it comes full circle. It's an EXO Wolf. We don't talk about the style in Wolf. Whew, Wolf is on a whole nother plane of existence. But you have to admit that Wolf is one of those songs that you know it's not a good song, but you can't help but love it. Like it's like the definition of a guilty pleasure song. My preschoolers could have dressed them better. Kai with them dreads. We don't talk about day. Like, I'm the kind of person I always said I don't give a shit what somebody else has on their head. Like, there are too many other like bigger, more important things going on in the world, and then half the time these hairstyles aren't even the choice of the idol themselves. They just have to follow what the company tells them to do. I'm over it at this point. Wolf as a song is a chaotic masterpiece. Wolf as a fashion is tragic. I'm gonna say both. Like, Wolf is one of those, like, I'll go back every once in a while and rewatch the video. And you have to go watch not the official MV, you have to watch the performance version where it's just 10 times as cringy, where they're all crawling on the floor and growling at the camera. I feel like Wolf is a time capsule of the era that it came out in. Not just for EXO, but just K-pop in general. Leah said Ravi's hot. Ravi's Hershey's Kisses hat has a special place in my heart. Mostly just because of the fans that started putting tinfoil on their heads and showing up at fan signs and high touch events like that. I just uh my nephew was crazy about Wolf, but he was 3. See, I kind of feel like Wolf was trying to hit that like kid market or something. I don't know. I'd rather open up a Ravi than a Hershey's Kiss. Le- Leah. I don't know where I was going with that. Wolf is to EXO is what Amigo is to Shine. Uh, uh, there's so many like early 2010s K-pop songs, and I was just like, what the hell? Wolf remix in Japan is amazing though. I had a high touch with Vix, and man, those men were stunning. I've never been a huge Vix fan. Like, I started liking some of their songs like towards the end before they started enlisting in the military. I had the opportunity to go see them in concert in Chicago a couple years ago, but then my friend passed away that I was gonna go with, so I obviously didn't go. And we were gonna do high touch. I don't know. I might have just like tried to kidnap Leo, so it's probably good that I didn't go. Your old video on the EXO Wolf MV is top tier. Oh god, I completely forgot that I made that. I am kind of the queen of starting video series, releasing like one or two videos in that series, and then just completely abandoning it. Because someone else brought that up to me recently. That's what the hell even was that series called? Oh, there was the pitch meeting series. Yeah, I completely like somebody brought that up to me because they like rewatched the BTS one and asked if I had planned to make more of those, and I'm like, oh god, I completely forgot that that was a thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll bring that back eventually. Making these like the weekly weird history videos has been taking up so much time though. Between working, like doing stuff for my small business and making the history videos, I don't have much free time. I have decided though that I am gonna switch it up every other week with a new series that I'm gonna do that's called the Fandom Files, because there are so many weird like K-pop moments as far as like K-pop artists, but there's also equally as many weird moments from K-pop fans. So I wanted to start a new series where I highlight just weird moments and weird things K-pop fans have done. Elizabeth said, "I'm enjoying the rain picture, staring at his barbecue." Oh yeah, we got some meat going here. Yeah, there we go. Just get that going. Awesome. Welcome to. What did we say the name of the shop was earlier? Dab. I tipsy at this point, so I cannot remember what that actually stood for. Rain looking like he's questioning how he got here. Lee says, I need a Wonho buffet. I was gonna put Wonho in here, but I felt like maybe I have been using Wonho. I hate to say using. Maybe I've been including Wonho a little bit too much lately because we had the week before the not last stream, but the stream before, we had the hot tub stream with Wonho, and then we had the Wonho nuts, the Wonho themed donut shop. So I was just like, we'll leave Wonho out this week. Maybe next week. You guys, like I said, you guys have to make suggestions for what the background should be for next week's stream. I think earlier someone said toy shop or toy store. So maybe that'll be a thing. Wonho Bakery the bun. Well, you did see that he had in the Wonho nuts. He had the lovely jelly filled donuts, which apparently I am going to have to make Wonho nut shirts because someone else asked about that, where it's the Dunkin' Donuts logo, but it says Wonho nuts. So that might be a thing that'll be available through I don't know how you pronounce it. I've heard some people say Ko-fi. I've heard some people say coffee. Because on there it's like you buy someone a coffee. But they put a thing in now where you can actually open a shop through your coffee page. So I might put those shirts up on coffee. Because I do want to start actually using that page a little bit more than I have been. Not many people donate to it, but I was also thinking about doing a thing where we're gonna be completely honest here. My channel's never gonna get sponsored. It's not gonna happen. Like the content is just no one is gonna sponsor my videos. So I thought about doing a thing maybe once I get a little more consistent with uploading videos. I know that there's a lot of people that follow me that are artists or have their own small businesses, or make art or whatever. So I was thinking about doing, instead of like a brand sponsorship, like for $5, like donation to Ko-fi, you'll sponsor a video and I will promote your business page or art account or whatever. I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about because it's something I've figured that it's a way that I can help promote you guys and also make a little bit of money for the channel. Like, I'm not trying to like make a ton of money off videos or anything, but if I can just make like $50 a month to cover the cost of my editing, what I pay for my editing software, and then also Streamlabs and stuff like that, so I can do more things with these live streams. That's pretty much the area I'm looking at. I'm seeing, what is going on? I'm seeing Candy Shop over and over again in the chat. Rain is dad now. I mean, I think, oh God. Am I older? I think I'm older than Rain. Oh no. We can do a candy shop next week. Leah, don't make me put you in timeout. See, damn it, I didn't add the bonk hammer. Dilf energy. I don't know. I don't know why like Dilf bothers me so much. Like I have no problem with MILF, but whenever I like see Dilf when someone describes like an older gentleman, it sounds like they're describing a weird pickle, and I don't know why. I much more prefer the term silver fox, but I guess like Rain isn't silver yet, so he's not hitting quite there just yet. So it said we need Korea said we need all the lovely establishment shirts. Maybe we'll get there eventually, but I think maybe we'll start with the Juan Honut shirt and see how that one does. Because some people have asked me to bring back the Trust No Bias Wrecker shirts that I made. Shit, that would have been like 4 years, like 3 or 4 years ago. Um, I think that's how long it's been. Yeah, it was the Trust No Bias Wrecker, and the Suho bought me this shirt. Hashtag rich shirts. I don't think I bring back the Suho shirt, but maybe I bring back the Trust No Bias Wrecker shirts because I've gotten questions about those quite a bit from people that have like watched old videos. So he said he's always had DILF energy, now it's official. Rain is the same age as Lee Took, 39. Okay. Okay, then I am not older than Rain. I thought I was older than Rain. I am not. Crisis averse it. Averse it. Okay, time to put the drink down. Crisis averted. Don't ask me how I know ages. Google. No, I swear I don't. Bias the leader of Super Junior. No. Sweats nervously. Uh huh. Uh huh. For real though, he has a kid, and apparently Chen's gonna be one too. See, if we're going by the actual meaning, Chen is already a DILF. Even though he's still a young man, he's got a kid, he's a dad. So, he says, I have your Suho bought me this shirt. Aw, thank you. Oh, a couple people have the shirts. Tarisha, thank you. Lee said that little girl must get the best of us. Yeah. Oh my god, could you imagine? Like, just Chen singing at home to his kid or his wife, either or. If I was dating Chen or married to Chen, I would make him sing to me every single day. Just because everyone is aging and it freaks me out. Yeah, I know. Do you guys remember? I'm gonna pull out some member berries right now. Do you guys remember when idols weren't 15 or younger? I saw like a lot of people freaking out this past week about the debut of what is it? Amex, I think Amex Entertainment, I think is the company, and the K-pop idol that's debuting in one in their group that's like 11. She's like 12 or 11. That's not even the youngest like idol that's debuted in a group. Like there was I can't remember the name of the group, but I want to say like the Magne was like 10 or something like that. They debuted like 3 years, like 2 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure they disbanded already, but yeah, the Magne of the group was like 10 years old or something like that. Amanda said, wait, does he not get to live with his wife and daughter while he's serving? Does he have to live on base or something? I'm pretty sure that he does have to live on base. Like, if I'm not mistaken, most of most get like 2 weeks off, like get time off, like a week off every 2 weeks or something like that, or like 3 days off every 2 weeks or something like that. But as far as I know, they are required to actually live on base. Elizabeth said, I love grown men. Yeah, you know what? Also, going back to what we were talking about earlier about Pink Fantasy, where I was saying that, like, I haven't really been that into their music, but I started, like, looking into the group and I've just been fascinated. The, like, age gap between the members, like, and they have, what I was saying, they have rotating members and temporary members that come in and out. And at one point in time, like, one of the members was like almost 30 while the youngest member was like 15 or something like that. It was very strange. Wasn't the Magne of Gugadon like 12? I think so. I have to look it up, but I can't remember. Like I said, there was a group that debuted. I want to say it was 2 or 3 years ago, but the Magne was 10 years old. So that's why I was just like, when I saw people freaking out about the Amex Entertainment Group and like the one member that was like 12, I was just like, we've had younger. To heck with them. XO is he can be happy. Chris like to protest, like, people will protest fucking everything. They really, really will. It's like the video that I've been working on. That's why there's no video this week. The video I've been working on is has been a beast. Um, because the group that the video is about, there's actually not a ton of info readily available about them, which pisses me off because it seems like a lot of information about them has been deliberately scrubbed from the internet. And if you look up their profiles and whatnot now, like, there's maybe a paragraph of information about them, and that's about it. Um, but it's also just been very, very difficult while working on the script and writing the video, is because of like involvement, not necessarily involvement, but not even fan, like anti-fan, and also just the general public at large, their reaction to this particular group, and just reading some of the comments from like the early 2000s is just very, very frustrating. Unless an idol has done something generally bad, illegal, we as fans have no business in what they do in their private life. Agreed. I'm gonna protest the protesters protesting the idol. I support it. He said, I'll join you, I'll bring the hose. Do they honestly think these grown ass adults aren't dating one? Yes, they do, because that's specifically what their companies want you to think. It's like legitimately what idols are coached on doing, is there's, even if they are in a relationship, they're coached on always appearing single. Unfortunately, some see it that way, but also the way their companies kind of portray idols as belonging to their fans, that kind of happens. True. Very true. I'd be, I'd be more upset as a fan if they aren't getting some. They worked so hard. I mean, most of them are still having their like little alley backseat hookups. They date, they get some. These people need to grow up. I mean, you would think that more people would just like understand that, especially with like a lot of the scandals and things that have like come out and like people's social media DMs and stuff like that getting published and whatnot. But we also have to take into account that, but by design on my channel, the majority of you guys are older. Like, I'm going, at least if my analytics are anything to go by, and also talking to a lot of you offline, like on off YouTube and whatnot, the majority of the people here and the majority of the people that watch my videos are at least over the age of 20. We technically are the anomaly. Most hardcore K-pop fans are like 15 and younger or 16 and younger. And when you're that young, there is that like weird attachment that you get with celebrities, especially in this day and age where celebrities are so readily available, where you can just like reach out and DM anybody nowadays. And I think there is that like slight disconnect where people are just kind of like, a lot of like teenagers are like, well, I talked to my friend online, I DM them. Well, I can talk to this celebrity and I can DM them, and it's the exact same thing. And there's this just like weird form of like, not necessarily ownership, but like where I see, like, look at comments on a lot of idols like Instagram posts and stuff like that, and it's like this weird disconnect where you see people who really think that they're friends with these people, or that the things that they say to them hold weight as far as they're supposed to listen to them or give a shit about their opinion. If that makes any, I know that sounds kind of harsh. If that makes any sense, it's just, it's weird to me. Like, I remember the dumb shit that I used to think and I used to do when I was like 14, 15, 16 years old. I can't imagine being on the internet or this connected to not just celebrities but anybody the way teenagers and younger are today. And I know that makes me sound super old, but that's just, I was thinking about that recently, and I'm just like, I don't know what the, I would have lost my goddamn mind and probably my life if the internet was what it is now back when I was like 13, 14, 15 years old. Okay, I missed a bunch of stuff in the chat. What is happening? I remember on that JYP show with XO, they brought up about dating and getting married, and everyone booed. Dating someone shouldn't be a scandal. It shouldn't, but it's still main. I think international fans are starting to change the view of them dating, as it's commonplace for celebrities here. I don't know how much of an effect that's really having. I think that's having more of an effect on the idols, them like idols, than it is on the fans. I used to have the tinfoil hat that I think I could date a celebrity. I mean, there's I don't think there's really anything wrong with having that fantasy as long as you don't take it to extremes. I was a teenager, they are dumb. We were all teenagers at one point, and we no matter what we may think, we were all pretty dumb back then. They said not me. I knew early on where I fall on the hot scale. I wasn't going to make it. My personality can only take me so far. Aw, don't stop it. Stop it. I was such a weird kid slash teenager. Like I still am, obviously, but oh man, I cringe when I think about. So it's like I sometimes I get it when I look at some of the things like teenagers nowadays post, and like even within the K-pop community, like there's some things that I really just do not get, and I think that's mostly because of age. Um, but then there's some things that I see, I'm like, that's really stupid. Oh God, I used to do that. Like, cause I think about like the internet in its like current form was kind of just starting to be a thing when I was graduating high school. And I do remember some of the forums and stuff that I used to be on for like, oh God, I'm thinking about that. Jeff Hardy from the Hardy Boys from WWE. Oh God, I remember I wasn't a big wrestling fan, but like the Hardy Boys and Lita just hit different for me back then. I used to write Jeff Hardy fan fiction. I used to like log into this one wrestling forum to talk about him every day. The band Good Charlotte. Oh dear God, I. It's so embarrassing. But like I said, I think it's good though because like I said, I look at some of the stuff that teenagers do now, and I'm just like, I was that dumb once. So instead, I'm planning my trip to LA so I can accidentally bump into Mark. Yes, accidentally. Elizabeth said everyone has a different hot scale. Very true. For me, it's always having that one random young K-pop stan say, "I'm too old for K-pop." I just roast them saying I'm old enough to buy albums and go to concerts. Yeah, there was a TikTok somebody sent me recently where somebody had said to the girl that she was too old to be a K-pop fan, and that K-pop isn't for like adults or like old people. And it's like, if K-pop's not for adults, why does everything cost adult money? So it said exactly, I don't have to ask my parents to go to a concert or beg for money to buy an album. I work to support my K-pop habit. Then it's true, but everything is just so damn expensive. Like, I will be completely honest. I have literally paid my rent late twice in the past because I bought a ticket to a concert, a K-pop concert, or an album or something. I still paid my rent, but it was definitely a couple days late. Since I'm the same age as some of their idols, so I don't know what they're talking about when they say that. See, I always think of it, it was like back in the day, like I've always been like a metalhead and into like punk and hard rock and whatnot. But I've always had a soft spot for boy bands though. And like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC just hit at the right time. But I think back to then, like when I was into NSYNC and Backstreet, I had to have been like 13, 14 maybe. And all of them were in their like 20s plus. Like I think maybe one of the members of Backstreet might have even been 30 at that point. I don't remember exactly how old Kevin or Brian was, but the thing, thinking back on it now, it was kind of weird where you've got like 12 to like 15-year-olds lusting after these like 20 plus old men. I don't know. Boy band culture is weird. Amanda said, "Oh my God, I loved Good Charlotte. I loved Good Charlotte too, until I started working on Warp Tour for a few summers, and I met them. Most of the guys were great. Most of the guys were awesome. Benji was an asshole, and it sucked because I had the hugest crush on Benji. Billy was awesome though." And I've run into him recently again. I think I posted the videos, the pictures on Instagram. I ran into him again 2 years ago at a convention that we both had booths at. And he's a vampire and does not age. Listen, Hardy Boys was a thing. There was a hot mess now, but ladder matches, also DX was a whole book. I never really got into wrestling hardcore. By one of my uncles when I was a kid before he passed away, he was super into it and tried to get me to watch it with him, and I thought it was stupid. Um, and I like watched here and there with my one brother before he passed away, and still never really got into it. But then it was actually Lita that, because I was just like, who is this awesome woman in these trip pants with all this like huge tattoo, doing fucking backflips off the top rope, and I thought she was so cool. Um, and then from Lita, I got into the Hardy Boys, and I just had the biggest crush on Jeff Hardy. And speaking of Lita, she was just awesome. Like, I actually got to meet her in real life a couple times. Like, I met her once during a book signing. And then I met her a few years later after she had originally left the WWE, when she started this punk band called the Luchagors. And I got to hang out with her in the band backstage, and she was she was awesome. She was so fucking awesome. I still hate how dirty they did her when she retired from the WWE originally, but oh my God. Yep, Lita and the Hardy Boys was my shit. Amanda said, I spend my adult paycheck on K-pop merch. She said, oh God, now I feel old. Don't feel old. You're in a safe place. We're all marginally around the same age here at this Korean barbecue establishment. Amanda said Nick Carter was my bias. I was never into Nick. I don't know why. I was never really that into Nick. I was always like, I think it was because I just did that stereotype of liking bad boys. I was really, really into AJ. Every once in a while, like, Kevin would catch my eye, but I was really into AJ. Speaking of AJ, I follow him on Instagram, and he posted a video, I think it was yesterday. It's him, Nick Carter, Lance Bass, and Joey Fatone trying to move a couch into his house. And it was just like thinking about the old, like, most of it was manufactured, but like thinking about the old, like, I almost said BTS, like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC rivalry. It's just so funny to see like how close all of them are now. Karina says, if another young K-pop stan calls me old, then I'm going to tell them that Kai and all the 95 four-line idols need to go to the retired home with me. Man, Kai gonna be in the retirement home with bad knees in a minute anyways. Oh, and then Leah just said, anyone seen the TikToks of NSYNC and BSB members meeting up? I haven't seen the TikToks. Like, even though I do now have a TikTok account, I very rarely log into TikTok. Like I will log into TikTok when I post a TikTok, and that's like once every 2 months. Like I posted something the other day, and I noticed that I had 88 notifications of from like videos friends had sent me, and I just logged back out without watching any of them. And I think my friends have gotten to the point where they know that I don't really check TikTok, so when they want to send me a TikTok, they'll just text it to me instead of sending it to me within the app because they know I'm not going to see it. They said that would have started a fan war in the 90s. I'm a 96 baby, turning a quarter of a century here. Leah says 89. Now I'm feeling old. I'm way up there. Says I'm a 90s baby. Elizabeth says my brain's confused. Good Charlotte with good Godsmack. Ask me why. Yep, very different bands, but I could see why your brain went there. They were all pretty active around the same time. Yep. I'm sorry, I'm just getting lost in the chat. I was never into it, just such pretty men everywhere. Not gonna lie, I do want to do that one TikTok of just listening to your biases. Elizabeth says she's old enough to be drunk, to drink and be grumpy. There you go. I wholeheartedly support that. As Elizabeth said, AJ was cute. AJ with oh god, AJ with his red hair. AJ had his alter ego. It was like Mr. Nowhere or Mr. No Name. I can't Johnny No Name, I think it was. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Johnny No Name. And he would do mostly covers of like rock songs, and that just cemented him as my. I love how I'm using like K-pop terms to talk about a 90s American boy band, but AJ was my bias. Amanda, pivot, pivot, pivot. Karina said she was a Joey stan. Really? Really? You're like a unicorn. You do exist. No, I'm just messing with you. Joey, he was like most, they say girls like funny guys. Joey was hilarious. Like Joey seemed like the kind of guy that you could just hang out with and crack a couple jokes, have a few drinks, and be cool with. So you know what? I can't even fault you on that. This is my work randomly plays. I want it that way sometimes. That's still one of those songs that you, no matter what store you go into, at some point during the day, you know they play it. Bookie said 70, let's not talk old. Okay. Alright, alright. I pass the crown to you. Tamisha, I pass the crown. You two can split the crown. What about Avenged Sevenfold? Listen. Listen. Man. M Shadows could get it. I met him while I was working during Warp Tour, and he had a girlfriend at the time. But man, if he didn't, I'm just saying, I probably would have been a hoe. I mean, oh my god. M Shadows could have gotten it back in the day. Not so much now. He's not so much my type anymore, but back in the day. Little piece of heaven messed me up. If they can make me laugh, then yeah, that's my bias. Yeah, yeah. I think I think that describes like the majority of the guys that I dated in my late teens, early 20s, because no one else got why I was with it. I was going to say some any of the guys I dated in my late teens, early 20s, but it was like they're funny. I don't know. Shush. Leah says I have a thing for leaders and rappers. Man, so I used to sing "I Want It That Way" on my karaoke mic that you plug into the TV. I think that's like "I Want It That Way" is like a perfect karaoke song. It's like something that like everybody, even if they don't know it, they know it. So I used to love the guy liner and tight black pants. And I still love guy liner and tight black pants. There's a YouTube channel um that I was they could YouTube the YouTube algorithm kept recommending it to me on my main page, and I thought that they just kept for like a year. I thought they were just recommending the same video to me over and over again. I'm like, "Damn, this website is persistent." But no, it's just that the guy literally titles all of his videos the same thing. Like I think he has like almost 100 videos on his channel, and they all have the same title, and it's all felt emo might delete felt emo again might delete later. And it's like a guy who the videos like I recommend. I can't remember what the name of his actual channel is, but if you search that, you'll find him real quick. But it's just a guy that keeps going through emo phases and driving his girlfriend absolutely insane. Um, but a lot of the videos actually feature like guys from members from old like pop punk and emo groups from like the early and late like mid 2000s. But he said I was more the Bon Jovi Poison girl. I went through a phase with 80s hair bands. I wanted that with the drunk bowling song. Drunk bowling sounds very, very dangerous. I've actually only been bowling twice in my entire life. Like once when I was 10, and then I think like one other time when I was like maybe 17 or 18. I've played a lot of Wii bowling, and that is extremely fun to do while drunk. I was a Spice Girl, Aqua, Venga Boys, Casada Girls. I, man, listen. The Spice Girls was, and still is my shit. I have a sound system hooked up to my TV, and I still have a VHS player. And in that VHS player right now is the Spice Girls live concert from like 1998. And you better believe I was blasting that shit the other day. I was 10 years old with a crush on Serge Tankian. Okay, that one, I can't co sign that one. I don't know. I just, was it The Voice? I Serge Tank. I don't know. I don't know her. I can't co-sign that one. I mean, most of my K-pop biases are either the leader or is the oldest member. When I was 14, I thought Robert Plant was hot. When he was young, my friend thought I was strange. You know what? Everybody finds different things attractive. So it's like I can't. I'm making jokes, but I can't hate on anybody because everybody finds something attractive. Like I have a friend that recently I was cracking jokes about her sister because apparently she had like the biggest crush on Bruce Willis from with like a specific era of Bruce Willis, specifically Bruce Willis in the show Moonlighting, and she used to have giant posters of Bruce Willis on her bedroom wall. So to each their own. Like you know what, if it tickles your pickle, go for it, or don't go for it if it's like not consensual or not like a person that you actually know in your real day to day life. Drunk life lessons with Lisa. To be just a Richie Sambor. Richie Sambor was hot. Wait, am I thinking the right person? I think I'm thinking of the right person. Elizabeth said my K-pop biases are the quiet ones mostly. Ah, the killers. I was the quiet kid in school, and this is showing my age. My Zune had emo. I still have a Zune, thank you very much. It turns on and then turns itself right back off, but I still have a Zune. Its name is Trogdor the Burninator. He said if my bias isn't the leader or rapper, then they are the main vocal. There is not no diversity. It is a lot of people broke body parts. I see Serge Tankian was a crush. The voice was amazing. I love System of a Down. I love System of a Down. Like I don't know, some of the members are very questionable, but back in the day, I loved System of a Down and I still listen to some of their albums to this day. Serge Tankian had a very unique voice, but I don't know. I don't get the I don't get the crush thing. But like I said, everybody is attracted to something different. So I don't know. I thought he was cool. Loved System of a Down. I used to jam Chop Suey as loud as I could before I went to school in the morning. I was in fifth grade. He said apparently when I was a kid I loved Elvis. I still love Elvis. It's a family thing. My entire family does. I didn't. I mean, I guess it was a different time. Elvis just looks kind of strange to me, but I definitely can get why he was so popular when he was back in the day, and I could definitely understand why women were attracted to him. He said one half of my family are Elvis fans and the other half are Beatles fans. Yeah. So I was on one of my weird rabbit holes recently, and this has nothing to do with K-pop, but it kind of does because I find it interesting. Where I was legitimately reading an argument between somebody that was like talking about like how manufactured and fake K-pop is, and they brought up the Beatles as an example of like real music and talent and hard work and blah blah blah. The Beatles were manufactured as fuck. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that. The Beatles were originally a metal band. And before they got big in the UK, they performed primarily in like Germany and I think like Sweden, but I think it was like primarily Germany. And they were like a hardcore metal band and would constantly get thrown out of like clubs for like wrecking the place and getting high and all this other shit. And it was like when they found their second manager who was just like, hey, you guys can continue getting kicked out of clubs in Germany and getting high every night and just screwing random groupies, or you guys can like be world famous and make a shit ton of money. And they're like, yeah, we want to do that. How do we do that? And he's like, well, you got to clean up your image, change all the type of music that you make. So it wasn't until the Beatles met this manager and like completely changed who they were that they became popular and famous. Because Guns N' Roses back in the day, I never really got super into Guns N' Roses. But speaking of Guns N' Roses, what the hell happened to Axl Rose? Velvet Revolver, very good band. Elizabeth, what are you on about? Saying Kai looks like an Asian Elvis in a way. No! What? No! I also had a crush on Brandon Boyd from Incubus, but is younger than Serge. I had a thing for Brandon Boyd too, back in the day. It was the hair, the eyes, the piercings, the tattoos. I may or may not have dated a guy that I knew I shouldn't have dated, specifically because he looked like Brandon Boyd. Like, I knew this guy was an asshole, and I knew I should not have dated him, but I did. And I regret it to this day because he treated me like shit. But I specifically dated him because he looked like Brandon Boyd. I'm like losing my place in the chat again. Ann Wilson from Heart. She has an amazing voice. Karina said people also forget that the Beatles lost an atom. True. Beatles, Monkeys, same thing to me. I mean, there's a little bit of difference there, but the Monkeys were definitely manufacturers, obviously, because they were a TV band. Um, I don't off top can't think of any Monkey songs. Definitely didn't really like any of their songs. There's a few Beatles songs that I do like. Korea said EXO covered a Beatles song that lives rent free because Lay in a suit. I miss Lay with EXO so much. Elizabeth said Slash was hot. You mean the parts of him that you could see? We said, hey, hey. Okay, well, hey, hey, we're the monkeys. Wasn't that like the theme to their TV show? Didn't Elvis meet his wife when he was like 14? Yes, he married her when she was, I believe she was 15 when they got married. It was like so funny to think of like things that didn't really bother people like back in the day, that if they happened now, people would be like absolutely losing their shit. Like, granted, yes, I do like some of David Bowie's music, and later on in life, he did amazing things. He did great things. But a lot of people also forget about the fact that him and Mick Jagger used to share 14-year-old prostitutes back in the day. Like, there's just so much shit that like people just, not saying they accept, but just forget with time. Or it's just the fact that if the internet was a thing the way it is now, back in like the 70s, 80s, early 90s, so many celebrities would just be fucked. The lower half of his face. He's just attracted to Slash's chin. like I just wanted to touch Slash's hair. Woody Allen married his adopted daughter. Yeah, yeah. I feel like people still, like, he's one celebrity. People still give him shit about that, though. Like, there's a lot of celebrities that did gross shit, like, between, like, the 70s to, like, late 90s that people have all but forgotten about it or they just don't bring it up anymore. I feel at least with Woody Allen, people still talk about Woody Allen marrying his daughter and then eventually having kids with her. I'm sorry, his I should preface his adopted daughter, but still. That I don't that's definitely grooming. That is definitely grooming. Prince also met his wife before she was an adult too, I think. I don't I'm pretty sure that's probably the case because there was a lot of teenagers gravitating like around Prince, especially in the 80s. Remember when Hillary Duff was 16, her boyfriend was 24. Also, they were public and no one seemed to have an issue with it. No, people had an issue with it. I just think that um like I said, the internet wasn't as big a thing as it is now back then. And yes, it was Joel from Good Charlotte. So that's weird. I'm sorry, that's so weird. I'm assuming that's about the Woody Allen thing. Good Charlotte was very interesting in the like latter years. I kind of stopped listening to them towards the end, like the last couple albums that they released. But it was like so interesting, like with like the song they released, like "Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous," and you could totally tell, like in a lot of the lyrics, that they were referencing like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie and like people of that circle and whatnot. And then they both ended up dating them and marrying. Like Joel married Nicole Richie, and then like I don't know the Cameron Diaz thing with like Benji marrying Cameron Diaz threw me through a loop. Like I was just not I wasn't expecting that. Oh, that one lady who divorced her husband and married that actor as soon as he turned 18. Haley Duff got kicked off her show because she got pregnant. Was that Haley Duff? I thought that was Britney Spears' little sister that got pregnant and got kicked out of her show. No, Ashton Kutcher was way older than 18 when him and Demi Moore got together. Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about now. I can't remember his name. It's not Evan Peters, the other one. I feel like we're having like we're having like early 2000s talk right now. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Taylor Johnson is very interesting to me because I never realized how many of his movies I've actually seen because almost every time I see him in a movie, I don't know it's him because he looks completely different in almost every movie that I see him in. Because, like, I remember watching him in Kick Ass, and then I think the next movie that I saw him in was this movie called Savages, which is a movie I absolutely love. And I just remember thinking that Taylor Kitsch was also in it, and I just feel like Taylor Kitsch has gotten such a bad, just raw deal in Hollywood. Like, I really feel like he should be a much bigger actor than he is, but he just kept choosing either really bad projects or projects that were just kind of doomed to fail. But the movie Savages is about two best friends who are drug dealers, who are millionaires that are drug dealers that sell weed, that have the same girlfriend, like they're sharing a girl. And I really wanted to be that girl in that movie. Not the kidnapping part, but the sharing Aaron Taylor Johnson and Taylor Kitsch. But yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson is one of the other leads in that movie, and I didn't know it was him because like I said, I had just seen him in Kick Ass a few months before that, where he was like super nerdy. And then I remember I looked up the IMDb for Savages because I'm like, who is? I know Aaron like Taylor Kitsch, but who is this other guy that's like super fucking hot? And then I saw that it was Aaron Taylor Johnson. And I'm like, holy shit, that is Kick Ass. And then shortly after that, he was in another movie that he looked completely different in. And then he was in Godzilla, and that one I knew it was him. And then he showed up in Avengers as Quicksilver and looked completely different again. And now apparently he's playing Kraven the Hunter in a future Spider-Man and also like solo movie, which is still technically within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I don't know how that works. But I have a feeling he's going to look completely different for that too. Elizabeth said I'm full of incorrect information tonight. It's okay. Tamisha, we're not talking about that. We are we briefly mentioned that earlier, but we're not talking about the J Park crap here because we're sticking on the positive end and we're gonna have a good time. So we're not even gonna we're glossing over that. Made to say he looks different every yeah, like every movie that I see him in, I'm always looking at him like that guy looks so familiar. And then either I look at the credits or I'll just pull it up on IMDb because it'll be bothering me the whole time. And I'm like, okay, it is Aaron Taylor Johnson again. I'm thinking maybe that's what Marvel's banking on for the Craven movie is that he'll just look completely different again and nobody will realize it's Quicksilver. Amanda said Aaron Taylor Johnson is good looking. He is, but he can also do very like not good looking and nerdy very well as well. Teresa said, yeah, 2 p.m. have released so many 2 p.m. teasers, but not enough shirtless close ups. I feel like a lot of the older idols are becoming a little bit more conservative with their attire when they really shouldn't. I just think go ahead and live up to the grown and sexy moniker. That's what we want. Did you see A Million Little Pieces? That sounds familiar. Did I see that? Maybe? No, I don't think I did. I'll have to look it up. They should flaunt the abs the military gave them. Here, here. Yeah, but going back to also that was in Savages with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Taylor Kitsch, man, I need him to have like a resurgence, because for a minute they were really trying to make him like the next like Hollywood it boy. I hate to say boy, but I mean after I think he was on that show Friday Night Lights, like they really tried to like make. I feel like that's the big problem in Hollywood is when they try to push a certain actor into like huge blockbuster films immediately instead of having them like work their way up with smaller films first. Because they put him in shit, what was that Disney movie? John Carter, the that was based on the John Carter from Mars book series. And that movie flopped so hard. Um, like to the point that it lost like hundreds of like 80 plus $1 million, and then like a ton of people at Disney got fired because of how bad it did. And it's actually a decent movie. And Taylor Kitsch is good in it. And I can't remember the one actress's name, but I wanted to bang her because she was gorgeous. I can never remember her name, but she was also in. Holy shit, she was also in that terrible Wolverine movie with Taylor Kitsch, too. Huh. I just blew my own mind because I just remembered that they were in that movie together, too. Um, but then there was the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie that he was in playing Gambit. And he was okay as Gambit, but that movie was terrible. And then he was in that horrible Battleship movie with Rihanna. I'm trying to think what. And then he was in the that movie that was like, I can't think of the name of it, but it was the movie that was basically the boy version of The Craft. That I remember I worked at GameStop when it came out, and we had like behind a video that we had to play in GameStop 24/7 for like a month straight, that had like a making of featurette and the trailer to that movie. So I saw it like The Covenant, that's what it was. Like he was in that, and that was not a great movie, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Thinking that Sebastian Stan, that plays the Winter Soldier, he was in that when he was younger too. But that is a guilty pleasure. But yeah, Taylor Kitsch has just had it rough, man. Like he's a decent actor. He just keeps getting these like really, really shitty movies. Military thick is a thing. Junkei, just take it off, sir. I feel like he has taken it off so much in the past that he feels like he's got to ration that shit out now. They don't want to be shirtless, but these really skinny little guys can be. I mean, I'm equal opportunity abs here, as you can see. Amanda says, just Googled him. He gives me River Phoenix vibes. Oh man, River Phoenix. River Phoenix could have, I feel like, could have been a really famous actor if he hadn't had passed away as early as he did. I think that's also one of the reasons that like Johnny Depp is like so fucked up to this day. And he's even mentioned that he still beats himself up about River Phoenix. Cat says, I really like John Carter. I like John Carter too, but apparently nobody and I think that was on Disney. Like they did not market that movie the way that they should have. Nope, 2 p.m. here, grown men since. Yes, but like I said, I feel like they're rationing at this point. Waiting for Jenga to have a movie adaptation. Snakes on plane. Listen, The Covenant is a guilty national treasure. Watch it every once in a blue moon. Like I said, it struck me as them basically trying to make The Craft. It was like Craft remake, but make it boys. Tamisha said Hollywood did Alex Pettyfer wrong too. No, Alex Pettyfer did Alex Pettyfer wrong. Like, and he even admits that he was a dick to a lot of people on sets. He even admitted that he knows that Channing Tatum hates him, and he said rightfully so. Like, there were situations where he borrowed money from people and didn't pay it back, where he had friends staying in like one of Channing Tatum's apartments and wasn't paying rent and wasn't moving out and all this other shit. There were incidents with drinking, but also he just said that with his personality, he just didn't want to fucking talk to nobody, which I get. But you can't really do that when you're on a film set and you have to communicate with people. But also, I feel like he fell into the same situation that Taylor Kitsch did, where they tried to push him so hard as the next big thing too fast. Because he did, what was it, was Beastly, like back to back, it was like Beastly, that I'm number 7 or something like that. Which, what the fuck happened to that? That was supposed to be like this big, huge, like YA franchise, kind of like the Hunger Games, and then that just fizzled out like after one movie. It was kind of the same way with like Divergent, where they should have just given up after movie 1, but they tried to keep it going. Good night, Boogie. Thank you for coming. Oh god, I just looked at the time. I didn't even realize that we've been going for almost 3 hours at this point. Karita said we don't talk about Beastly. I didn't hate Beastly. I just think I was a little too old for it when it came out. It wasn't made for me. I am number 7. I've read some of the books. The books were good. The series was terrible. I can't remember. Amanda, I thought it was it might be I am number 4. I don't know. There's like one book series, the Pretty's book series, that I've still been waiting for them to make a movie out of for like 15 years. And like the creator has talked about, he's had so many deals with different studios to either make a movie or a TV show, like a series of movies or a TV show. Like, I think over the past 15 years, he's had deals with like 5 or 6 different studios, and it's just fallen through every single time. And he had wrapped up the book series like almost 10 years ago, but he just recently released a new one in the series because he was just like, you know what, screw it. Because the thing was, is he really thought that it was going to be turned into a movie, like a movie or a TV show, but eventually he just decided to get the story going again. But I really like that series. Like, that's a young adult series I wouldn't mind seeing turned into a movie. Pray for me, rain tomorrow, and 16 preschoolers wish me luck. Oh man, good luck. I have respect for anybody that can like handle more than like 2 or 3 kids at a time. It was like peak YA time for me, but I didn't check it out. They said I don't think I've seen any YA series. The Hunger Games wasn't bad. Like, I wasn't like crazy about it like a lot of people were, but I enjoyed the Hunger Games. The first Maze Runner film I liked. The rest of them were kind of meh. I actually don't think I've actually watched the very last one that came out. Divergent was an absolute no for me. Like, I couldn't even make it through the first movie. Like, I think I watched the first like 40 minutes or something like that before I turned it off. I'm trying to think if there were any like YA adaptions that I did like other than Hunger Games that I watched. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Jumper, I will admit I watched Jumper for Hayden Christensen because at the time I had a big crush on him because I used to watch him on this show called Higher Grounds that I'm pretty sure not a lot of people have seen, but it was like a Canadian show, and it was about a camp for like troubled teens, and he was in it after he like tried to commit suicide because he was being molested by his stepmom. It's so weird. It's so dark. The whole show was very 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 dark. Um but I watched Jumper because I was still in my Hayden Christensen feels at that time. I didn't Jumper could have been better. And I love that that movie came out like I don't know how long ago, but they're still talking about sequels to it. But I kind of need a sequel because I need to know how Samuel L. Jackson got out of that cave at the end of that movie. Spoilers, but I need to know how Samuel L. Jackson got out of that cave. I gotta ask, has anyone seen the High and Low series? I want to fight after going down that rabbit hole. I have never even heard of that. The books were better for Divergent. I pretend the movies don't exist. Was Chronicle? I'm assuming that was Chronicle. No, Chronicle was not based on a YA novel. That's another actor too. Speaking of that, I just don't really know what is happening with his career. Is Dane DeHaan, the man that constantly looks like he needs to take like 20 naps? He seemed like he was like on his way like up as far as like Hollywood goes, but he's just been like in some really horrible movies lately. Like I know he likes to stick to a lot of indie stuff, but I mean, I don't know. His choices lately have been interesting. And then that Quibi series, R.I.P. Quibi, that he was in, that shit was terrible. Where he was playing like an evil Uber driver. No, I'm sorry, he was like an evil Uber passenger. V-Line notification, 2 p.m. visual films. Alright, guys. So I think we are actually going. I was about to say we were going to wrap this up, and then I looked at the chat. Karina, what is this? What is that? John Ho and his perky what now? Can't take y'all anywhere. Tamisha, Quibi was a bad idea. Man. Quibi was Quibi was a good idea on YouTube. Like Quibi would have been great if it was a YouTube channel. But I don't. That was just Jeffrey Katzenberg being old and not wanting to listen to anybody else's ideas. Amanda said, so now you gotta show us a picture. Gonna go check out V Live. Alright, we're gonna end this. Everybody run the 2 p.m. V Live. Thank you guys for coming out again. I will see you next week. Hopefully at the usual time of... Every time I get ready to end, y'all put something else questionable in the chat. What are y'all doing? Stop it. You've had 3 hours to be horny on Maine, and y'all decide to do this now. Come on. Alright, for real this time. Good night. I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me again. Hopefully the new main video should be up on the channel. I'm gonna say probably Tuesday. I would say tomorrow, but I have a feeling I am not going to work on it tonight after this ends. So I'm gonna say probably Tuesday afternoon or evening. But once again, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. And I will see you next week. Bye bye bye.